Sometimes people get awards for the one great thing that they do. Not today. The awards we're giving today are significant in that they are long-term, decades of achievement kind of work. Making connections, staying connected for the long term takes heavy-duty humility and a deep love for San Francisco and the community, and that's what we're celebrating today.
I was born in Chinatown at Chinese Hospital. Lived in Chinatown for 4+ years of my life on Pacific Avenue. Our family moved out into the avenues. I was very, very fortunate to have some wonderful instructors in the public schools at Presidio who just inspired me to really make a difference. I'm one of the very fortunate people who get to be the housing director of a major city where he grew up, he was born and raised, and get a huge budget to make a difference in their hometown. But how much better does that get?
My most vivid memory of Olson is him walking precincts for the first general obligation bond that we did for affordable housing in 1996. Olson was a middle or even low level employee of the redevelopment agency. So walking precincts, going door to door, distributing literature was our principal form of campaigning, and Olson was there. And the remarkable thing is, fast forward 20-odd years later, last year, I'm down to the last precincts, which are always the hilliest precincts, and who's to show up but Olson? And he's going to walk precincts. And I tell him, it's far away from where we're mobilizing, and it's hills, not a blink. That is rare in volunteers in general. It is absolutely rare in a bureaucrat.
I think one of the things that we've always talked about is trying to ensure that we have a diverse community in San Francisco, sharing that common goal and common mission to produce high quality affordable housing.
Notre Dame Apartments is a 204-unit apartment building for seniors in the Russian Hill district of San Francisco, really high rent district. The owners of the building had the right to take the building to market rates, even though the residents were low-income residents who'd moved into it as affordable housing. So there was this significant risk of 270 plus seniors being on the street. Olson's largely responsible for the preservation program that the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency came up with, which preserved thousands of units of low-income housing.
The residents of Notre Dame finally got some security after many, many years of being concerned that that building will flip into a market rate building.
It's a unique building in that it's Russian American, Chinese American seniors living together.
You have friends here because the people is friendly.
覺得好安樂，唔捨得走，除非上帝叫我翻去，我就走。上帝叫你。
I hope that that feeling of love for the city of San Francisco is conveyed through the work that I do. There's nothing about San Francisco that I don't love.
And Halstead. Staying connected means going through thick and thin together. A bridge building between North Beach and Chinatown. The spirit that you bring is really touching. So this is your Love Your Neighbor Award.
44 years in North Beach. So I feel like I belong here. And I'm happy to be part of a huge, diverse community, and I love it that way. I love riding the 30 Stockton, for instance, and being part of a very active, young and old community. I think to me the important thing is bringing people together to enable them to participate in society in a fuller way, giving people the tools to be full citizens. That's what motivates me the most.
Anne has served on the CCDC board for so many years. She really was a bridge between our community at CCDC and the North Beach Telegraph Hill community.
One of the most exciting projects, one of the most rewarding projects that Anne and I have been involved in has been the North Beach Library.
And it will provide much greater facilities for the children and families, as well as the elderly and Chinatown and North Beach. It also increases the scale of the playground adjacent. I've always believed that parks are a really good place for people to come together around their civic engagement. In other words, it brings them together on a positive basis for the most part to work with their fellow citizens in behalf of the better good.
When we were starting the first campaign to raise funds as Gordon Chin, founding executive director, was stepping down, and introduced us to somebody at a foundation, hosted a lunch for us, and we were able to get one of our first gifts because of her ability to connect people.
Anne is our food pantry delivery person, and she'll go out to the food bank every week and shop for our clientele for their basic needs of nutrition.
It makes me feel more human. I hope it does for other people, but I like doing it, and it makes me feel like I'm actually contributing at a physical level, as well as working on raising money or going to meetings and all those other things.
Anne's style is all about outreach and communication and cooperation, about recruitment and inclusion and involvement. And so I think there are a lot of us in the neighborhood. If we ever reach our goals, we'll do so standing on the shoulders of Anne Halstead.
I've been with TRIP since 1976. TRIPS is an acronym for Chinatown Transportation Research Improvement Project. And TRIP is completely a voluntary organization. While I was growing up in New York City, I used the transit system. It was a very integrated and exhaustive transit system. They moved a lot of people and they got where they're going.
Will was one of these guys that actually had an interest in transportation. I mean, it was pretty hard to get people excited. It's certainly not overstating it to say that he loves this community.
No, he wasn't born in Chinatown. You'd think that he was, because he feels like the rest of us, and especially towards seniors. Right. He's always concerned about seniors.
In the early 1980s, we advocated for the Pacific Avenue bus line, a community bus, to serve the shoppers and to serve the people living along Pacific Avenue towards Van Ness.
我一班老人係咧搭車去睇病啊，去睇病啊，去紅人埠啊。
Well, late 1980s, the Chinese or the Asian community said, you know, why isn't there service between Visitation Valley and Chinatown? And that was the genesis for starting the 8X. Every busload brings in about 50 to 60 people. They will be shopping, they'll be eating, they'll be visiting the associations. When they left Chinatown, the average shopper from Visitation Valley had about 3 plastic bags full of shopping goods from Chinatown in each hand.
Will was able to articulate and share the same transportation values that we all have.
Will became the guy that helped us to always analyze things and to weigh pros and cons of doing what we were going to push for.
You know, I always thought of Will sort of like the historian for Trip 2 because he kept almost every single document, every single piece of paper for Trip. When you want to know about any particular project, you just tell them. Next day he will show up with that piece of paper or document that talks about it.
Will, you have put in more hours than some of our staff have. He retired a decade ago, I think. But he still comes in and I gotta work on this, I gotta work on this.
Everything takes work, but if you organize as a group and you're able to get together and articulate and stay focused, then you can get a lot of things done. When I look back over the years, getting involved gives you a lot of satisfaction. Because people would say, you're just dreaming. No, you can dream and accomplish it.